Hello, everybody, again. Zach Attack is here with my TNA Impact Wrestling review for the night, December 15th, 2011. Coming off the aftermath of TNA's most recent crappy pay-per-view, Final Resolution. It was a okay Impact tonight. We saw some things with the wild card tag tournament going on. We saw some firings, more than I would ever expect. And a little payback, a little retribution for a TNA title match that happened on Sunday at a tie. That's how we started Impact tonight, with Sting ordering a 5-minute overtime period as AJ Styles took on Bobby Roode and a sudden death overtime for the TNA World Championship. Kind of a continuation of the match from this Sunday. It tied at 3-3 at the end of the 30 minutes after the Iron Man match ended. So it was overtime for them. It was an okay match to start off the Impact night with AJ dominating the match, showing Bobby Roode some good moves with fades and Pele's and everything. Called Bobby Roode doing what he does best, scouring, cheating, taking every opportunity and shortcut, trying to cut the time by to get off the ring, buy himself time to beat the time for AJ not to get enough time to beat him. Pele the last few seconds, and AJ was trying to get a pin but did not get so it ended up being a tie again at that point. No clear winner. Sting came flying down after that 5-minute period ended. Sting say, hey, no time limit, just sudden death. First pin, submission wins it. So AJ was still standing, his knee was still hurting him. But Bobby Roode, focusing underneath the entire match, clipped it from behind, got the ankle lock on AJ, kind of a one-legged Boston Crab. Victory, Bobby Roode, cheap way, getting the victory, retaining the TNA Championship in a 6-minute match, 5-minute overtime, and of course a 1-minute sudden death. Ended up being that, because Roode kind of clipped AJ from behind. I'm glad that TNA kind of addressed the whole controversy surrounding the whole tie thing and having it continue on in Impact with a sudden death. And at least they had a clear-cut winner with Bobby Roode getting a clear-cut victory despite the fact that they clipped AJ's knee to get it. But AJ showed a lot of potential. He dominated the match. Roode kind of held on. Like I said, Roode held on enough to get the knee in the second period, as I called it. He getting the victory over AJ, retaining the TNA Championship, heading towards his match against Jeff Hardy, who would wrestle later on tonight against Bully Ray. Now on to our second match of the night, which was the first match of the Wildcard Tag Team Tournament. Random Combinations would wrestle. First odd combination as Hernandez, one half of Mexican America, teamed up with E's bodyguard, Rob Terry, to take on the team of Abyss and Steiner. Now you've seen their issues with Steiner and Bully Ray trying to win Abyss back into Immortal 2 weeks ago, sending him freaks. Last week, Steiner and Bully Ray helping Abyss defeat Samoa Joe, who would also wrestle tonight, which I'll get to also in a moment. And Abyss didn't like the fact that Steiner and Mr. Bully were helping. So Bully got himself a black hole slam for his helpings by Abyss. Tonight was a different story. For most of the match, it was mostly Steiner getting double teamed by Robbie and Hernandez, and Abyss refusing to tag in, refusing to hold his hand out. So basically, it was basically a handicap match for most of the match, with Hernandez and Rob Terry taking control of Steiner. It was an okay of a tag match, and then Abyss came randomly flying in, double teaming both, letting a black hole slam on Rob Terry, and letting Steiner pick the bones a bit by handing the victory to Steiner. 1, 2, 3. Steiner and Abyss, first team to advance in the Wild Card Tag Team Tournament. Kind of weird to see Abyss kind of align himself with Immortal. He's not really in Immortal fully yet, but we don't know. Maybe he is part of Immortal again after being resistant for the last couple of weeks. Now he may be helping to join in again. Who knows what will happen, especially when they go along this tournament, if they advance more further into the tournament, Steiner and Abyss. We would have one more match in the tag team tournament, which would be held a little later on in the evening. before we get to our next match, we would have Kurt Angle coming out, begging a rematch against James Storm because James Storm defeated Kurt Angle this past Sunday at Final Resolution. Sting says no rematch, and Angle says he wants to go to James Storm's hometown and beat the crap out of every one of them to get a rematch. We'll see what happens if Angle trying to be desperately to get a match against James Storm while Sting wants Storm to continue and try to advance towards a shot at the TNA World title against his former buddy, Bobby Roode. Now on our next match, which is a best 2 out of 3 series for qualifying to a fatal 4-way for the X Division Championship. 3 men have qualified already. The X Division Champion, Austin Aries, shoo-in. Although 2 men have been wanting shots, have been getting shots, and wants one last shot. Kid Cash and Jesse Sorensen. Those 3 are in the fatal 4-way. 4th slot to be held vacant until one man, which is Anthony Nese and Zeba Ion, one of those 2 to win the best 2 out of 3. The winner would qualify in that fatal 4-way. Good matchup. I've always been impressed with Zeba Ion ever since he came into the company in July when they had like the X Division tournaments for the Ultimate X. He impressed me. But there's a new cockiness, a new attitude, should I say. Zeba impressed to give him some high-flying moves, and Anthony Nese did pretty well too. But Anthony needs some more good wins in him. And Zeba acted a little cocky, pinning Anthony Nese twice, and then when he pinned him, he put his head up. A little cocky move, doing it not once but twice, heading towards a big fork splash, a big 450 splash to give him the victory, and giving him 1-0, and one more win for Zeba will get him in the fatal 4-way. And it's all about me, Zeba says. Zeba wants to show that it's all about him. He wants opportunities. He doesn't want to wait for them anymore. Whenever they come, he'll take it. He's taking like the Bobby Roode way. Sick of not getting enough opportunities, and now he wants to, take every opportunity, take it as it comes, with cheating and everything else. And cockiness to go along with it. It's all about me, Zeba says. So he has his, like, his thing, like, I'm the prettiest, and all that stuff. So, there you go, cockiness goes on. On to our next match, kind of a mini squash, as Jesse Neal took on Gunner. Now, Jesse Neal has been rumored to be leaving the company after having some issues with TNA after sending him to OVW. OVW, a former training territory for WWE, is now under control of TNA. So that means TNA can pluck people out of OVW to join TNA, and the opposite, sending people from TNA to OVW for further development. Jesse Neal felt he was upset about being down there, kind of like punishment or something for his lack of wrestling ability. So Jesse Neal wants out, not only because of that, but also because of financial issues. And boy, did they white out Jesse Neal nastily with Gunner recovering from his loss against Garrett Bischoff last week, but pile dropping Garrett on the concrete last week, sending him to the hospital. He did the same thing with Mr. Neal. It was okay. It was like a done matchup. It's not much of a way to white off Jesse Neal. Gonna beat the crap out of him, causing disqualification victory for Jesse Neal. But enjoy along with a DDT on the concrete by Gunner and making Jesse Neal white on in a gurney, not only out of the arena, but out of TNA completely. So there you go. Jesse Neal is out of TNA, and that's how they say bye-bye to him. He was okay of a guy. He had a story about him being an Army guy. Then he went on to, teaming up with his partner, Shannon Moore. Who knows what happens with him? What's going to happen with Shannon Moore now? The tag division now sucks now. Fully. That's what happened in this wild card tournament. Because there's no tag teams left. With Neil out, Ink's out because Jesse's out. Motor City Machine Guns are still out because they're both injured. Alex and Chris. Beer Money's broken up. And Generation Me's fired. So it's like, Besides Mexican America and British Invasion, who's left? It's a tag team. That's why I have to randomly make tag teams. Like, randomly make Matt and Crimson together. You see that combination is working out well. That's what they're doing this wild card tag team tournament. Making people randomly team up together. And that will lead us to our next match. After Abyss and Steiner advance, on to our next wild card match, which was Magnus teaming up with Samoa Joe to face off against Robbie E, the television champion, and Douglas Williams. Now this match was, I knew it was going to be a squash to begin with because one, Robbie E is a fucking idiot, and two, because Joe needs direction right now. I said it last week in my Impact review that Joe needs direction right now. You know, Joe's like squandering around, looking for things to do, especially after losing to Abyss last week, so Joe needs direction instead of being pretty silly ass storylines. It's going to show that tonight with him and Magnus getting the victory. Makes also kind of almost the same thing as the last match. One guy controlling the other. Robbie E taking too much time. He was okay in the matchup. Teaming in and Doug getting some hands on Magnus. But I like the way Samoa Joe and Magnus kind of teamed up for the victory with Joe delivering a move and then Magnus flying up giving an elbow to Robbie E. Doug Williams is going to be going for a move on Joe. Magnus pushed Joe out of the way. Lord dug down, setting him up for a muscle buster by Joe. 1, 2, 3. Joe and Magnus advance to the tournament. So 2 matches down, 2 to go. And seen from tonight's backstage segment, we know now that it's going to get wild, though, with it ain't called Wild Card Tournament for nothing, as Eric Young found out his tag partner will be ODB. Probably their match will be next week. Other skits, including other segments of the night besides the segment with everything else with Angle and Sting, involved Jeff Hardy coming out to thank the fans. Of course, Jeff Hardy beat Jeff Jarrett, get the title shot against Bobby Roode now. And Bully Ray coming out, talking about the match tonight. Also, we had Devon coming out, trying to settle this thing with Pope. Now, this Pope and Devon thing, you know, involving Devon's sons and everything, about them getting involved and everything, really escalated tonight after Sunday. Now that Pope and his sons, Devon's sons, officially turned on Devon tonight. With Devon and Pope getting into a little fight after Pope made fun of Devon's marriage with his mama, with their mama, the son's mama. Then boom, Pope with a low blow after a family hug, which was ill-fated with Devon's sons holding him up to get attacked by Pope with salt. It was about training. You know, Devon wants to train his sons, and Pope was like, listen, Devon, you're not a cool dad. They want a cool person. That's just some old fart. You know what I mean? So that's what's happening. It's like old school versus new school, basically, in this feud with Devon and Pope. I see a match at Genesis at this point to settle this feud between these two eventually. They'll settle it. But I guess Genesis will be the place. Now on to a knockouts match, which was questioned with the fact that either Jeff or Karen was going to get fired tonight. Both talked to Sting, and when we held in fainted breath on who would get fired, we saw Tracy Brooks take on Madison Rayne. Now, Tracy Brooks last week was in a match against Gail Kim, Madison's partner. Tracy laid down, but not enough, beating the crap out of Gail Kim, but Gail, with a little help from Karen and Madison, got a victory over Miss Brooks. So Tracy, still angry over the treatment she's been getting, took on Madison Rayne tonight. And from the get-go, Tracy Brooks went out like a cat. She was a house of fire, attacking Madison on the ramp, taking her down, dominating the first half of the match. Choking her out, but Madison later choked out Tracy a little bit, choking on the ropes and everything. And then a nasty kicks and clotheslines by Madison sealed the victory for Madison on Tracy Brooks. And despite the victory for Madison, Tracy would walk out of the Impact Zone very happy, as Sting fired both Karen and Jeff Jarrett, following seeing footage of them both back talking each other. Because he said, Karen's like, oh, Jeff, I'm going to say I should be the one to get fired because you're the man. And Jeff's like, no, I should be the one to get fired. You should be the queen bee. And eventually, they were caught saving their own asses instead of the others. But Karen saying there's 1,000 more Jeff Jarrett's. I should be the queen. Jeff's like, Karen's a slut, basically. Women don't belong, yada, yada, yada. They both saved their own asses instead of saving the others. So they both got fired, squabbling and bitching along the way. So we could see a possible promotion for Tracy Brooks next week. And now she's going to treat all the heel knockouts like hell, the way Karen's been treating the good girls like hell. Now it's time for Tracy, woman scorn, to take advantage and really warm the knockouts division and turn it around a little bit and dominate the heels. Now, after the dismissal of Karen and Jeff, Bobby Roode came out to ringside to commentate for the main event as Billy Ray took on Jeff Hardy. Of course, we all know Bobby Roode's next challenger for the TNA World Championship at Genesis. Now, match was decent at best. You got two guys, Billy Ray and Jeff Hardy, long history, TLC, Dudley's, Hardys. You can go all the way with that one. The match was decent. It was about 5-10 minute match. Jeff Hardy fought his way, doing some good moves and stuff. Billy Ray tried his thing with the bubble bomb, but Hardy countered with a twist of fate. Then a swanton. Actually, another twist of fate. And 1-2-3 victory with Jeff Hardy. Billy dominated most of the match, but then, like I said, Jeff Hardy came back with 2 twists of fates and got the victory. Jeff was happy about the win, especially in front of Bobby, proving to Bobby he is ready for Genesis. But then Billy Ray and Jeff decided to fight again after the match, having a post-match brawl. Then Bobby ran in from the booth and then came to the ring, attacked Jeff from behind like he always does to everybody he does. Beat the crap out of Jeff and let Bully do all the dirty work. Bully pulled out a table and Bully Ray powerbombed Jeff through a table. Then Sting came flying out. He didn't want to put his hands on Bobby. But then Sting punched out Bully Ray. And like Bobby Roode did to Dixie Carter last week, disrespected Sting by nailing Sting from behind with the championship belt as he was laying down some right hands on Bully Ray. Ending with a triumphant Bobby Roode, a happy, cocky Bobby Roode, standing on top over the laid bodies of Sting and Jeff, sending a message to Jeff and Sting that I'm the champ, I don't care about 30, I'm the man, fuck you both. Basically what he said. So, I know a lot of people are mad about Jeff getting another shot because, of course, Jeff, junkie, all that shit. It's America. TNA's like America. They give you shot after shot. No matter how dumb you are, and no matter how many chances you've got, and how many times you failed, you try again. Look at Marion Barry. Shouldn't go there, but hey. Marion Barry got arrested for crack smoking in a hotel, and then he got reelected. You know what I mean? So, only in America. Only in America. But, alright, Jeff, hey, fucks up everyone, but hey, that guy's not Matt Hardy, who's more fucked up. But like I said, tonight's Impact was decent. It's TNA, it's hit or miss with them, but it was like building towards Genesis and Sting and Bobby Roode's feud a little develops. Building Hardy and Roode a little bit. AJ may be out for a while. He has a knee injury. Maybe we are now. Who knows? So see what happens later on, further down the road. But especially with Jared and Jeff fired, and Mortal's breaking down in the seams. But Abyss may be joining back here with Steino. See what happens next week for the rest of the wild card tournament in the Zima Ion Anthony D series. Rebuild towards Genesis. That is it for my review. Like this video, subscribe, and comment below. What are your thoughts tonight? You happy Jeff and Karen are out? You happy about Roode being champ and everything, cheating, and your overall thoughts on tonight's Impact below? Please, thank you very much. See you later. But act by the review from Zach. See you all later. Yeah.